Speedway Anywhere
on Blog Talk Radio
/Speedway Anywhere with your crew chief, Q.
Okay, welcome back. Speedway Anywhere, back in the flesh. Finally, it's been a long time. Been a real long time, almost a year, but I am so happy to be back. As you can see, we got the big Speedway Anywhere emblazoned across the back. And obviously a new studio. It's temporary studio, but it's new. Had to step up the game a lot bit. Got this whole green screen thing going on, and we'll be able to add stats and all that kinds of cool stuff on here. But anyways, God, I'm glad to be here. I'm doing things a little awkwardly because I don't have a desk in front of me to do all this. So it's, I'm going to be dabbling on my right side, your left side, I believe, if you're looking at me. Stage left, stage right. It's always confusing. But hey, man, this is really cool. And just got done with Talladega weekend. Playoffs are in full swing for all three series. 3 different winners. We had Ricky Stenhouse, Sammy Smith, and Grant Enfinger. Grant Enfinger obviously locked himself in to the next round of, the finals at Phoenix. So he's going to be one of your top 4. That's the only one that's made its way into the finals as, Cup and Xfinity aren't quite there yet. I almost said Busch Series, but, force of habit. But, I couldn't believe it. We got those winners. There was no flips in any of the races too, which for Talladega, that's amazing. Say what you will on that, but let's get to the Truck Series standings while we're talking about it. As far as points go, Corey Heim is leading the points, and then right behind him is Christian Eckes, and then Grant Enfinger. He's a lock for the Final Four. He's the only one to lock his way in. But and then we got my boy Ty Majeski just above the cutoff line. Below the cutoff line, obviously Roger Caruth, Taylor Gray, Nick Sanchez, and Tyler Ankrum after he got into that wreck at the end of the race at Talladega. So as you can see in the stats, I do use an asterisk to show who's made it on to either the next round or to the Final Four for the series. So let's play with the teleprompter a little bit and get to Xfinity. First up in the points is Chandler Smith. He's no wins yet, and we'll get to the thing about winners and contenders and non-contenders. But yeah, Chandler Smith, Cole Custer, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, Jesse Love, Riley Herbst, Sammy Smith, and then just above the cutoff line, AJ Allmendinger. Man, what a weird year for him. I figured he'd be doing a lot better than 8th in points. But he caught lightning in a bottle in his other years, and not this year, though. Just below the cutoff line, though, is going to be Justin Allgaier, bridesmaid, second place, or leads the entire race up until the end and then fades to the back. Dude's got, don't know this for a fact, but he's probably got more stage wins than any of the others in the series. So, but yeah, below the cutoff line, we got Justin Allgaier, Shane Van Gisbergen, Sam Mayer, and Parker Kligerman. Parker Kligerman, he's losing his ride at the end of this year, and that's what he's doing next year. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's been announced, but he's great. I think he's just as good as the rest of them. He's been in competitive equipment, but just like Allgaier, he has something go wrong at the end. So, but yeah, as far as the lock, we only have Sammy Smith into the next round for sure, and they'll be going back to where are we going next week? The Roval. So the Roval, and speaking of the Roval and guys that don't have to worry, all they got to do is start the race. I didn't put the asterisk up for William Byron, but points-wise, he's a guarantee for the top 8 right now. So all the others are pretty darn close. All they really got to do is start the race. So, but right behind them, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott is bringing up the hind end as far as who's above the cut line. So, but yeah, Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe. Now, the biggest surprise here to me is Joey Logano. But I had Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, and Chase Briscoe eliminated in the going into the top 12, and so I'm wrong. Thank God I didn't put money on that, you know. So that's I'm not a betting man, and thank God I'm not, because I would have missed out if I was to go through the bracket to who's going to make it to the final 4, the final 8, or the final 12, and somewhat the 16. Which leads me to the next part, which is we got 6 different winners out of the 11 championship races. 6 different winners that are non-contenders, which Chris Buescher, Ross Chastain, and Ricky Stenhouse, all non-contenders in the Cup Series. Eric Almirola won a few weeks ago. And he's a non-contender in the Busch Series. Doesn't even run full-time, but had he been full-time, I guarantee he would have made that top 12 for the Xfinity Series. Sorry, told you it's going to slip on me. But then also Lane Riggs in the Truck Series. Lane Riggs won the first 2 of the truck playoff races, non-contender. He hasn't been full-time this year. Not sure what happened there. At first, I thought he wasn't 18 yet, but I found out a couple days ago, yeah, he's 22 years old. So what happened there, I'm not quite sure. So, yeah, 6 of 11 playoff races, though, won by non-contenders. Which also, talking about winners, there's been 17 winners in the Cup Series. If you include Austin Dillon's win that did not get him into the playoffs. We all know about that deal at Richmond. Took out Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin at the end. One of the more exciting times, one of the more exciting finales to a race. But the biggest one to me is always going to be Ricky Stenhouse and Kyle Busch. Probably the best quote of the year, when Kyle Busch said, "I know, I suck as bad as you do, or as much as you do, or whatever." But that's I'm gonna clip that soundbite and get that in there for this year's highlight reel when all is said and done and the championships are decided. So, but the topic that I'm thinking about right now is the lawsuit toward NASCAR from 2311 and Front Row Racing. This is unprecedented. My only comments, well, I got a lot, but my biggest comment on this is years ago, back in, I believe, the late 60s, Big Bill France, Sr., He said that the if the drivers want to rebel against the sanctioning body, against NASCAR, that they need to go wherever they're going to go, because NASCAR will go on without them. And Bill France Jr., even in the Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, Darrell Waltrip, Bobby Allison, and those days, call it the 80s and into the 90s, Bill France Jr. even said something very similar, that NASCAR is going to go on with or without you. I don't think we're any longer in or NASCAR is no longer in a position to think that way. If you ask me, if Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick retired, but had those kind of drivers decided that they're going to go and race in another series and took a lot of the others with them, and the Hendrick drivers, not my favorites, for reasons that I'm not going to discuss right now. If they leave the Cup Series, they're screwed. They are really screwed. NASCAR will fail. So it's no longer a position. And for 2311 and Front Row Motorsports to bring about a lawsuit for not agreeing to the charter agreement, NASCAR is going to have to take a step back. We're going to find out more about the court case. I am no legal expert by any stretch of the imagination, but all I know is that the attorney that's representing the two teams has taken on the NFL. They've taken on college sports. He's taken on, I believe he represented some Olympiads, and he's won every case. So NASCAR, this is going to get stupid, but for now the injunction is in place that the way it was said is that if these charter teams don't sign on to the agreement, that they're done at the end of this year. Well, the injunction says otherwise. So you're not going to see Denny Hamlin's team, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, or any of the guys at Front Row. You're not going to see them go away to another sport next, or another auto racing sanctioning body next year. Not going to happen. For the time being, anything could develop. Who knows? So this also brings me to another point that's not about the Cup Series, is CW Network. They've taken over the Xfinity Series that started at Bristol last month. This is the coolest thing in the world to me, okay? So I can go anywhere and not worry about whether or not it's got satellite TV or cable. But I'm finding out that in a lot of areas, CW Network is not available. And my heart's out to you guys. I'm sorry. That's a bummer, and I hope that somehow or another, being that CW has taken on this second largest series in NASCAR, that they'll get their stuff together and get themselves somehow. I don't know how antennas work. All my stuff is broadcasted over the internet, so what do you do about that? However, on another point of that, I believe that the Xfinity Series is the big winner here. Their ratings are going to grow through the roof and might even beat out the Cup Series. Now, the Cup Series next year, 4 of the races, for Christ's sake, are going to be on Amazon Prime. To go to Paywall TV, this isn't the pay-per-view Mike Tyson fight, okay? I don't know, man. They're trying to attract that younger crowd by going to streaming, and first of all, that's slap in the face to those of us who have been there since we were little knee-high kids. And, streaming is still foreign to, well, my uncle. My uncle is on Dish Network up there in Wisconsin. And he don't stream for TV for nothing, okay? I don't even stream for TV. Maybe I'll adapt. Next year, obviously, I'm going to have to either stare at a computer or get the whole Wi-Fi thing going on the smart TV and watch Amazon Prime on regular TV. I'm still not set up to do that at this point, but there's been some cool shows about F1 and NASCAR and everything that have drawn spectators to the sport. And F1, blow it out your where. And I really think that the younger crowd will be better exposed, but it's still a slap in the face to us diehards that have been there for 4, 5, 6 decades. So I didn't prepare any notes about any of this. I just got little footnotes to speak about it. Whereas in my shows in the past, I was always using a teleprompter right there in front of me. I'm looking at my computer to my right side, to your stage left. Or your left side to my stage right. I'll get it right one of these days. But, so, let's see. As far as winners go in the Cup Series, that's 17 so far this year, but with so many non-contenders winning the races, I hope we see more of this. And let's not forget last year when Ross Chastain won the final at Phoenix. That was classic. They didn't even show him smashing a frickin' watermelon. So, I mean, there was so much focus on the championship, and it was a non-contender that wins, and gets no credit. So, but he did the damn thing. He smashed the watermelon. There's highlights on YouTube of that post-race and NASCAR.com. But anyways, I hope they got their stuff together. I almost swore, and I don't think I've swore yet on this episode. So hopefully we can get through the next minute or two and not do that. As a matter of fact, we are going to wrap it up. And let's see. Any other notes? I don't believe so. So that's going to be a wrap on my first show in almost a year. But I hope you like the new gig, the new digs, and the new format to the sound, format to the video. And I'm going to be playing with it a lot too. I just got this within the last couple of weeks, so let's look forward to bigger and better things to come for Speedway Anywhere. But thanks a lot, folks, and I hope you'll come back next week after the Roval.
Speedway Anywhere.
On Blog Talk Radio.
Your source for stock car, Indy car, or any car.
No matter how many wheels.